The sky, a vast and enigmatic canvas, has captivated humanity since time immemorial, from the rhythmic dance of rain to the furious roar of thunder. For millennia, we have gazed upon this celestial dome with awe. This interplay of atmospheric forces dictates our lives. Today, weather modification blends scientific ingenuity with audacity. We must confront the profound implications of altering the heavens. The quest to control the weather is as old as civilization itself. Ancient civilizations developed rituals to influence the heavens, from Native American rain dances to ancient Chinese ceremonies. The scientific revolution marked a turning point in weather understanding. The journey from ancient rain dances to modern cloud seeding is a testament to human ingenuity. The 20th century witnessed a dramatic leap forward. The story of modern cloud seeding begins at the General Electric Research Laboratory. In the 1940s, Nobel laureate Irving Langmuir explored clouds and precipitation. Langmuir's work laid the foundation for weather control research. Schaefer's serendipity, a cloud chamber revelation. Vincent Schaefer made a pivotal discovery in cloud seeding. In 1946, he experimented with a cloud chamber. Frustrated, he dropped dry ice into the chamber. Instantly, a swirling cloud and ice crystals formed. Schaefer discovered a method for seeding clouds. News spread, igniting excitement about weather manipulation. Vonnegut's ingenuity silver iodide takes center stage. Bernard Vonnegut sought a practical alternative to dry ice for cloud seeding. He found silver iodide with a hexagonal crystal lattice like ice. Silver iodide particles could act as artificial ice nuclei. It proved effective, triggering ice crystals at -4 degrees Celsius. Vonnegut's discovery revolutionized large-scale weather modification, from lab to sky early cloud seeding experiments. Schaefer's dry ice method and Vonnegut's silver iodide breakthrough were pivotal. The late 1940s and early 50s saw many cloud seeding experiments. Project Cirrus, launched in 1947, was a joint effort by General Electric, the U.S. Army Signal Corps, and the U.S. Navy. These experiments generated public interest, excitement, and controversy. Seeds of doubt. The rise of social and legal controversies. Early successes unleashed excitement and anticipation. Yet it carried a whirlwind of social and legal complexities. Farmers feared rain stealing and other unintended consequences. Legal scholars questioned cloud ownership and liability. Environmentalists feared unforeseen and catastrophic consequences. Rainmaking and rights. The legal battles begin. The legal battle lines over cloud seeding were drawn early, as disputes over water rights and property damage erupted across the United States. One of the most contentious cases, Southwest Weather Research, Inc. v. Jones, 1951, unfolded in Oklahoma, where farmers sued a cloud seeding company for diverting rainfall. The case highlighted the thorny legal issues and the difficulty of proving cause and effect in weather modification. Though settled out of court, it set the stage for legal challenges across the country. Farmers sought injunctions claiming cloud seeding altered natural precipitation patterns. communities sued for damages, alleging floods and hailstorms caused by cloud seeding. Courts struggled to establish legal precedents and provide clear guidance. The legal wrangling exposed deep-seated tensions over water rights in the American West. Water, already scarce, became more contested as cloud seeding raised concerns over unequal rainfall distribution. The legal battles reflected a broader struggle over control of vital natural resources. The lack of clear legal frameworks led to calls for legislative action. The debate over regulating this powerful technology was just beginning. Public perception and the politics of weather control. The court of public opinion grappled with weather control, swayed by scientific pronouncements, media hype, and Cold War anxieties. Newspapers ran sensationalized stories of rainmaking successes and failures, fueling hopes and fears. Images of aircraft seeding clouds captured the public imagination, reinforcing the perception of mastery over the elements. Rumors of secret government programs to weaponize the weather tapped into Cold War anxieties. The line between science fiction and reality blurred as the public grappled with weather control implications. Politicians saw weather modification as a tool to sway voters and advance agendas. Some called for caution, warning of the dangers of tampering with nature. Weather control became a political football, subject to public opinion and political calculations. The lack of clear scientific consensus and sensationalized media coverage created confusion and uncertainty. Scientific uncertainty and the call for regulation. Cloud seeding offered possibilities, but the scientific community remained divided on its effectiveness and long-term consequences. Early experiments yielded mixed and often inconclusive results. The variability of weather patterns made it difficult to isolate the effects of cloud seeding. Proving a causal link between cloud seeding and increased rainfall was a formidable challenge. The lack of robust understanding fueled skepticism and calls for more rigorous research. Critics argued that proponents overstated the effectiveness of their techniques. They pointed to the lack of standardized methodologies and potential bias in data interpretation. The scientific community recognized the need for controlled experiments and standardized protocols. Calls for government regulation intensified to ensure responsible development of this technology. Some advocated for a federal agency to oversee weather modification. Others favored a decentralized approach. With states regulating cloud seeding, policymakers had to balance fostering innovation and mitigating risks amid scientific uncertainties. The U.S. government commissioned studies to assess the state of the science and make recommendations. These studies aim to evaluate cloud seeding effectiveness and guide future research and regulation. The findings would shape public policy, guide research, and influence the debate over cloud seeding. Military ambitions, weather as a force multiplier. The atomic age brought a chilling realization. Humanity could manipulate nature and unleash destruction. A new arms race emerged, aiming to control the elements as a strategic objective. Military strategists sought to harness the skies as a force multiplier. During the Cold War, weather warfare was seen as a potent tool. Both the US and the Soviet Union recognized the strategic significance of weather control. Weather modification promised a decisive advantage in geopolitical chess. Interest extended beyond theory with heavy investments in research. Techniques like cloud seeding and fog dispersal were explored. Programs aimed to weaponize weather, transforming storms into war instruments. Driven by strategic ambition and Cold War anxieties, the pursuit continued. Project Ceres, storming the heavens, sowing controversy. Launched in 1947, Project Ceres aimed to explore cloud seeding for military applications, including influencing hurricanes. The project captured the public imagination with its vision of controlling hurricanes. Scientists used dry ice and silver iodide to disrupt a hurricane's energy balance. Critics questioned the feasibility and ethics of such experiments. In 1947, a B-17 bomber seeded Hurricane King with dry ice. The hurricane unexpectedly turned and struck Savannah, Georgia, causing significant damage. Public fears led to Project Ceres's cancellation in 1952. While Project Ceres was short-lived, the dream of weather warfare did not die with it. In the jungles of Vietnam, a new and controversial chapter in weather modification was about to unfold. Operation Popeye, a top-secret U.S. military program from 1967 to 1972, aimed to exploit the monsoon season. The goal was to enhance rainfall over the Ho Chi Minh Trail, disrupting enemy logistics. Muddy conditions would impede enemy movement and wash out roads and bridges. Carried out in secrecy, only a few high-ranking officials knew its true nature. Pilots seeded clouds with silver iodide flares, increasing rainfall. Operation Popeye's success came at a high ethical and diplomatic cost. Its revelation in 1971 sparked international outrage and condemnation. While the military explored weather modification for strategic advantage, commercial interests saw economic opportunities, augmenting rainfall, suppressing hail, and dispersing fog appealed to industries from agriculture to entertainment. Farmers in arid regions facing drought eagerly adopted cloud seeding to increase crop yields. Cloud seeding promised enhanced rainfall and frost protection. Hydroelectric power companies used it to ensure steady water flows. Ski resorts enhanced snowfall for better skiing conditions. Despite challenges in proving effectiveness, the dream of controlling weather drove ongoing innovation and investment. The allure of weather modification, with its tantalizing promise of controlling the elements, proved irresistible to scientists, entrepreneurs, and national governments. As news of cloud seeding spread beyond the United States, countries worldwide explored its potential for their unique challenges. From Australia to Africa and Asia, cloud seeding emerged as a potential solution to global problems. The global embrace of cloud seeding was fueled by hope, necessity, and Cold War geopolitics. For many developing nations, it offered a glimmer of hope. The ability to augment rainfall promised increased agricultural yields. Despite uncertainties and risks, it became an attractive option. The Cold War added complexity to its global spread. The US and Soviet Union vied for influence, using cloud seeding as a diplomatic tool. Cloud seeding projects became pawns in the Cold War chess game. Critics argued it distracted from addressing root causes of poverty and environmental degradation. Despite concerns, the allure of controlling the weather proved too strong to resist. Cloud seeding projects proliferated worldwide, driven by hope, necessity, and politics. From drought to development, cloud seeding in Africa and Asia. Cloud seeding emerged as a beacon of hope in Africa and Asia, promising enhanced rainfall and boosted agricultural yields. Governments invested in cloud seeding research and infrastructure, aiming to transform their economies. In Africa, cloud seeding projects aim to increase water supplies and boost agricultural production. Asia also embraced cloud seeding for managing water resources and promoting growth. India explored cloud seeding to augment rainfall and ensure food security. The experiences were mixed, with successes, failures, and enduring uncertainties. Seeds of cooperation and competition. International weather modification. The global spread of cloud seeding technology brought a new era of international cooperation and competition. Shared challenges of drought and climate change fostered collaboration among scientists and governments. The exchange of knowledge facilitated new cloud seeding techniques and improved capabilities. The World Meteorological Organization promoted international cooperation and ethical guidelines. However, strategic and economic implications fueled competition and mistrust among nations. Rumors of secret programs fueled by Cold War paranoia heightened concerns. The lack of treaties prohibiting weather warfare created an atmosphere of suspicion. The line between research, peaceful applications, and military exploitation remained blurred. The international community faced the challenge of establishing norms and regulations. Some called for cooperation on peaceful applications, while prohibiting hostile uses. The challenge was to balance national interests with global cooperation for responsible use. The Advisory Committee on Weather Control, a call for scientific rigor. By the mid-1950s, cloud seeding had moved to the forefront of public debate. The proliferation of cloud seeding projects raised ethical, legal, and environmental concerns. The scientific community was divided on the effectiveness and consequences of weather manipulation. The US government established a high-level advisory committee to investigate cloud seeding. In 1953, President Eisenhower signed legislation creating the Advisory Committee on Weather Control. The committee, composed of distinguished experts, was tasked with reviewing weather modification activities. After 3 years, the committee issued its landmark report in 1957. The report acknowledged both the promise and the peril of weather modification. The committee concluded that more research was needed to determine cloud seeding's true effectiveness. Project Skywater marked a watershed moment in weather modification research. Initiated by the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation in 1961, it aimed to augment water supplies in the arid American West. The project brought together scientists, engineers, and meteorologists from various sectors. Its research covered atmospheric physics, cloud dynamics, and environmental monitoring. Extensive field experiments used ground-based generators, aircraft, and rockets for cloud seeding. A network of weather stations and stream gauges collected detailed data on precipitation and stream flow. Project Skywater's legacy set new standards for interdisciplinary collaboration and scientific rigor in weather modification research. Section 3, assessing the evidence. The National Academy of Sciences weighs in. As Project Skywater generated new data on cloud seeding, the need for an independent assessment became apparent. In 1966, the National Academy of Sciences convened a panel to review weather modification research. The panel evaluated the evidence for cloud seeding's effectiveness and its potential impacts. The report concluded that evidence was inconclusive and effects were variable. It emphasized the need for more rigorous research and standardized methodologies. The report shaped research priorities and promoted greater transparency in the field. Section 4, Uncertain Futures, the enduring legacy of the Advisory Committee. The Advisory Committee on Weather Control issued its landmark report in 1957 and continued to monitor developments, providing guidance and a forum for public discussion. The committee's work shaped weather modification policy and research in the United States. Its legacy influences how we think about and manage the forces of the atmosphere. The committee emphasized the need for a strong legal and ethical framework. It recognized the profound ethical questions about human responsibility and environmental stewardship. The committee's recommendations laid the groundwork for regulating weather modification. Its legacy extended beyond weather modification policy, highlighting the importance of independent scientific advice. A legacy etched in clouds. The quest to control the weather took a dramatic turn in the 20th century. The discovery of cloud seeding captured the imagination of scientists, policymakers, and dreamers alike. From General Electric labs to Vietnam battlefields, cloud seeding ignited research and debate. Pioneers driven by curiosity and Cold War anxieties sought to reshape our relationship with the skies. Yet the path of weather modification has been paved with both triumphs and setbacks. The legacy of early cloud seeding pioneers is complex and multifaceted. They grappled with ethical dilemmas, learning that even well-intentioned efforts could have far-reaching effects. The dream of controlling the weather has not faded. Climate change and extreme weather events have intensified the desire to influence the atmosphere. Despite decades of research, weather modification science remains unsettled. The question of whether humans can alter weather patterns is still debated. The complexity of the atmosphere poses challenges to weather modification research. Advances in atmospheric modeling and cloud microphysics are helping scientists understand weather patterns better. New cloud seeding agents and strategies are being developed to improve effectiveness. The scientific community remains cautiously optimistic about weather modification. The quest to unlock the secrets of the skies continues. A future fraught with promise and peril. The future of weather modification is a mix of possibilities and uncertainties. The challenges of a changing climate lend urgency to the quest for tools to adapt to a volatile world. Augmenting rainfall, suppressing hailstorms, and mitigating hurricanes drive research and innovation. Yet we must proceed with boldness and humility. The history of cloud seeding reminds us of unintended consequences. Ethical dilemmas and ecological impacts demand careful consideration. Governance will shape the future of weather modification. Clear legal frameworks, ethical guidelines, and international cooperation are essential. The dream of controlling the weather is now possible. But with this power comes the responsibility to act wisely and ethically, respecting nature's balance.